Hi everyone, Janette here from Case Flower School, and today our top tips, we're going to talk about Viburnum. So absolutely amazing flower. It's available from November till June, but you probably find that its peak months will be January till May. The meaning of Viburnum is actually winter, and sometimes, like as its nickname, it will be called the snowball tree. So it does look like snowballs. So it always comes in this fabulous lime coloured green. And to be honest, like you can work it with contrasting like vibrant colours, like imagine Cerise pink Ranunculus mixed with this. But then to go for like just subtle and use whites, ivories and creams, and again it can look amazing. It's quite a long lasting flower, 7 to 10 days. But listen, it loves water. It's a bit like the hydrangea, okay? What you'll find is if you see it starting to kind of like wilt, it's probably because it's not getting enough water. It has got a woody stem, so that sometimes can delay water getting up the stem. So what I recommend, first of all, if you're buying it wholesale, you have to buy it in 10 stems, okay? Remove the plastic, like all flowers, you know, that way it normally thrives better if you remove your plastic. And obviously any leaf that's below the waterline. But I can tell you with this flower, if you can remove as much leaf as possible, because the leaf, believe it or not, drinks a lot of the water. So even though you may remove the leaf that's below the waterline, you know that way, and you leave some of that leaf on, you know what I mean, because obviously it looks nice, you will find that will take some of the water. So if you want to make this last even longer, I do recommend remove as much of the foliage as possible, even some of them little individual leaves. If you find that the flower head itself is going wilt, the best thing to do is actually place it in cold water. So just place the flower heads. So this will be after you've treated it, and maybe a couple of days later you look at it and the head is starting to look a little bit kind of like, you know, soft and that. The best thing to do is place it in water like that for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. Won't do it any harm at all. A bit like the hydrangea, it takes in a certain amount of water through its petals. And you will find, because it's a woody stem, it's cut at least 2 centimetres off the end on a 45-degree angle. But I would recommend cutting them every second day. To be honest, like here in the school, we probably cut them every day. But at least every second day, and change the water every 2 to 3 days. And sometimes when you buy the Viburnum, there's a special flower food that you get with them. If that happens, use that flower food. If not, just use your normal flower food placed in the water. Now, most flowers, like you place them in cold water, but believe it or not, Viburnum actually like tepid water. So when you're giving them their first string, just take the chill, especially if it's winter time, is just take the chill out of the water by putting a little bit of hot water, boiling water into it, just to make it kind of tepid. I often have treated them a bit like hydrangeas, and I've actually placed them in boiling water and let the water cool, and I find that works for us as well. It's a beautiful flower in weddings, even to break it up, you know, that way, and use it in between, again, your ranunculus or your roses or your spray roses or your bouvardia. To be honest, like it's a fabulous flower. But again, to use it in funeral work as a coverage would work out a little bit more expensive. But you know, instead of using like your double chrysanthemums as a base flower, imagine using these little snowballs here of Viburnum and covering in a base. Would work out a little bit expensive, but believe it or not, it would be amazing. Gorgeous in flower arranging, but again, because it's flower foam, it doesn't get the water up quite so fast, so you will find it is probably better in a vase of water. So really you're back to your hand-tied bouquets, like your presentation hand-tied bouquets, or even for bridal bouquets, and again you could break it up into shorter little sprigs and use it in your bridal work as well. So the best of luck with your Viburnum. If anybody has any questions, post your questions in the comments below, and I will get back and I'll respond to everyone. Thanks for listening.